Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. We're back. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, the Iceman, Jeff Trenopole. And as always, I'm bringing you sports from a West Side point of view right here in very, very snowy Cincinnati, Ohio. And as always, this is the home of the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, if you found the show, do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button, smash that thumbs up. I am up to 830 subscribers. I appreciate every single one of you guys. It's awesome. Let's keep it rolling. And as always, try to get to 1,000 as fast as we can. Now, this show and every show is brought to you by T Properties. T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out their website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. All right, guys, I'm back. Made it back from the Super Bowl trip with my awesome wife, Mrs. Ice. Video chat link is at the top of the YouTube channel, so make sure you guys go over there and join the chat and join the link. Now, I have to tell you the story of my weekend. It was fun. Flew down, no snow here. It was perfect. Went down, watched went to the fan experience, which if you guys ever have a chance to go to the fan experience, it is awesome. I'm going to put a video together of a whole trip. I got hours of video to try to edit and put together, so it might take me a week or two to do it, but it was a lot of fun. I got pictures of the Lombardi Trophy. I got to see every single Super Bowl ring. It was fun. It's a great experience. Everybody was social distance. You wore masks. I kind of almost hyperventilated in the mask a couple of times because it was hot down there, but it is what it is. And then the Buccaneers win the Super Bowl, and my family was going crazy. They were having so much fun today. They had the boat parade. Tom Brady threw it across from one boat to another, which was nuts. But I got to tell you my story about coming back. So, flight was about a half hour late in this snowstorm. Now, here in Cincinnati, we were only supposed to get 3 to 4 inches. We got almost 10. And it all came down at once, right when we landed. And I'm not kidding. We're flying, coming down. All I saw was white. You couldn't see anything. How the pilot landed it, I have no idea. This is why I'm not an airplane pilot. It was so good that the flight attendant was like, "We landed. How about that landing, bro?" Like, woo! We didn't slide off. That's awesome. I mean, I'm not kidding. There was a ton of snow. So, all right. We parked our car there. So we went and got the van, took off. Now, if you guys are familiar at all with Cincinnati, the airport is actually in Kentucky, which literally probably takes me a half hour at the most to get to. Well, yeah, 75 is the main highway here. We couldn't get on it. I mean, I got on the entrance ramp and we were stopped. I mean, I think the fastest I drove was like 20 miles an hour. So we had to drive all the way around to 471 bridge. Normally I go to 75 bridge. I had to drive all the way over to the 471 bridge, come across and come that way. It took us 3.5 hours to get home, which would normally be a half an hour trip. So then we get there, and where we live here in Cincinnati, it's hills. So you got to drive up a big hill to get to our neighborhood. First road we went up, nobody's going up it. I'm like, oh crap. So I turn around, I'm like, all right, let's go on down to the next one. I couldn't even make it up 2 feet. I'm looking at Mrs. Ice, like, are we going to get home? I'm like, we're getting home. We're getting home. So we went to the third road that goes up a hill. And it is probably the least traveled out of the 2 main roads. The 2 main roads weren't clear at all. This wasn't really clear, but it was clearer, I guess is the way to say it, than the other 2. So if I made it up there, I'm like, all right, good. So we're going through our neighborhood, and one of the main drives through our neighborhood, it was pretty clean. I'm like, wow, they cleaned our neighborhood off. That's awesome. So I turned down another road. Nope. Foot of snow. I'm like, oh, crap. So keep going, no problem. So, a block from my house. Again, we have a hill. It's not even that steep of a hill, but my wife's van would not go up the hill. It's got that traction control. So when the wheels spin, they would spin for so long, and then they stop. So it would spin, stop. Spin, stop. I'm like, oh my goodness, we're so close to getting home. Like I said, by this time it's almost 3:00 in the morning. So we had to park the car a block from our house and walk. And we walked in the middle of the street, and all you saw was our footprints in the snow walking to our house at 3:00 in the morning. So the next day I had to shovel our driveway, get it all cleaned out, go unbury my wife's car, go get it. So it was a very interesting way to end our very fun Super Bowl anniversary trip. But if you guys ever get a chance to do it, go do it. Fan experience is awesome. Bring in my boy Jeremy D. What up?
So pretty much you had the time of your life in 70, 80 degree weather,
yes,
and you came home and paid for it a little bit.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it was, dude. And the funny thing, me and my wife were talking. It was, like I said, our 24th anniversary trip. Our anniversary is January 5th. So, we celebrated a little later. The funny thing is, our honeymoon 24 years ago, we're down in Gatlinburg. And you remember the movie Jerry Maguire? You remember that movie?
Oh, yeah.
That's how long ago it was. Anyway, we're staying up in a cabin, and we were in Gatlinburg, and the movie theater was in Pigeon Forge. And if you've ever been there, there's this long, windy road in between two of them. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't snowing. We went and watched the movie, came out. Just like that night, the last night, or Sunday night, Monday night, whatever night it was. I'm going to get my days confused. A ton of snow. I'm like, holy crap. And my wife's from Florida. Well, we're going to make it. I'm like, oh, yeah, we'll make it. I'm from Ohio. I can do this. We'll be fine. So we jump in our car. We start taking off. And I'm driving slow, be cautious, blah, blah, So then we get to that road, and it's a windy road. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, right before we get there, I see this transformer go, boom, and it blows up. Like, whoa, I'm driving. All of a sudden, the lights go, whoop, and they all go out. I'm like,
ow.
Okay, well, I'm a good driver, but I can't see. And like I said, there's a creek on this side, there's woods on this side. I'm like, well, I guess we're going to stay in a hotel tonight. So me and my wife are laughing like, oh, this is just like our honeymoon. We had to drive back. It was, dude, I could not believe that's the most snow we've gotten. I think they said since 2008.
I believe it. Even my family up in Mount Vernon, north of Columbus, haven't got that type of snow in years, really. And it's kind of cool, I'm wearing this thin jacket right now because it's 62, getting chilly now that the sun's going down.
Yeah, rub it in, whatever.
But no, man, that's awesome, dude. I'm glad you had a good time on your trip. And you know what? Even though you hit some speed bumps, we're here. We're alive, and that's all that matters, baby.
Baby. We back. Now, I don't know if you guys saw in the ice bar, my brother-in-law, RJ, that's who's putting up there. He said, thanks for coming. He got the first official autographed strawberry ice koozie, and I signed it horribly. It's a terrible signature. You can't even see what it looked like, but he has it, so.
Hey, I just don't want him taking it to the pawn shop, all right? No eBay.
It might be worth a lot of money, Jeremy. You never know. I mean, come on. It's the Iceman. Hello.
That's what I'm saying. I want him to cherish it.
The Iceman and Jeremy Dimebag Deem is Crip calls you. So what's your thoughts on the Super Bowl? I mean, my family was, dude, ecstatic. I mean, the thing is, I kind of feel bad. I started I'm excited for him. Then I started going, man, you know what? I'm kind of jealous. I'm like, I want this. I'm like, man. I was like, good.
Yeah, just to go to 10 Super Bowls in your lifetime is astronomical. I mean, we're just praying for one. He's been 10 times and he's won 7. There's nothing else really you can say bad about Tom Brady. And as a person, I love it. He walked up.
He's the GOAT.
Yeah, he walked up in there with no mask on, dude. He went and practiced. Oh, my favorite thing, I'm not a big Jim Nance guy. Hello, folks. Every time,
Hello,
hello,
friend.
folks. Hello, my friends. Yeah, my friends. That's it. Welcome to the Masters. I know everything about everything. And to see Brady up there accepting that trophy, and you can hear Nance in the background. Hey, Nance, get a little closer. I can't hear what you're saying. If you want to talk to me, you got to come over here and talk to me, man.
All right, the chat is blowing up. I was jumping up and down. I clicked on RJ's Bengals versus Buccaneers Super Bowl, and I clicked on it, and something else jumped up. So I clicked on the wrong one, but that's what I was jumping up about. Bengals versus Buccaneers next year. Yeah, babe. Which actually, you and me were talking about this yesterday. You already did it. I'm about to go do it. We're gonna put some money on the Bengals just going to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
It's a pretty big payout if they do. And I know my in-laws get tired of me saying it, but I really do think that if they do the right stuff, we got a shot. We got everybody's got a shot. So
yeah, and you know what? Burrow back game 1, Burrow back game 4. Doesn't matter. We're gonna have to gut it out. We're not gonna have a good center for a few games, but my gosh, the money keeps pouring into Cincinnati, bro. We can literally spend some dimes. And we're going to get into some stuff here in a few minutes that may even save us. Well, not save us money, but maybe help us out if certain things may happen.
Yeah.
You never know.
That's just a little tease. That's just a little tease for later on the show.
Just the teaser. Just the teaser.
Yeah. Foxy wants to know, did I have to go around because there was a wreck in the Cutting Hill? I didn't get to the Cutting Hill. I couldn't get on the Fox. I'm not kidding. The ramps were closed. I couldn't see the lines. I mean, I'm not kidding. I was driving in tire tracks. So we're kind of going this slowly. So I don't know if I think 75 was actually cut off. I think they stopped it. And there's wrecks everywhere.
Oh, God. I can only imagine.
Yeah, but this is Ken brought up a thing we were talking about in the pre-show fist fight. Super Bowl proves that champions are won in the trenches. And that's exactly what you and me were just talking about.
Yep.
This game was won because the Buccaneers front four defense. Now Tom Brady played good, don't get me wrong, but they got pressure. I think I read, if I'm reading this right, if I'm remembering right, Mahomes got pressured about 40% of his dropbacks. That's a lot.
Yeah.
And they did it with 4 guys. They didn't blitz. They did it with 4 guys.
Yep.
I mean, that's what we've been saying all year. You got to win at the line of scrimmage. You got to get pressure on their quarterback, and you got to keep them off your quarterback, and you got to run the ball. And Tampa ran the ball down their freaking throats.
Exactly. And you know what? I'm not digging on Mahomes. I think he's got another 2, 3, probably Super Bowls in him. Maybe more. You never know. Injuries could happen, whatever. Teams change. But when the Buccaneers decided, okay, we're not going to let this guy stand around the pocket. We're not going to let him, he did run around the edge. I think I can count on one hand and got a first down, but no big long runs from Mahomes. He was under pressure all night, and it kind of showed his passing. It's not so easy when you're trying to get the ball out in 3 seconds than just lollygagging around, skipping a guy here or there, 7 seconds, 10 seconds. Oh, and there's Tyreek Hill going across the field wide open because a linebacker can't stay.
I loved it when the Bucket, I can't remember which one it was, said deuces, and he got a flag. Oh, that was such bull crap because Tyreek Hill did that to them in the game.
And didn't.
Deuces did a backflip into the end zone and got nothing.
They both should have been. There should have been a flag on both those. That's
either a flag on both or a flag on neither one of them.
Yeah,
you're not gonna flag Tyreek Hill for doing what he did. And you can't flag the Buccaneers for doing what they did. It was ridiculous. I'm like, come on.
Yeah,
and
the game was.
And the competitive spirit and fire that Brady still has, him going after the honey badger, I was going nuts. I'm like, yeah, I'm like, I love that. That's a competitor. That's what you want in a leader. You're gonna talk smack. All right, we'll bring it right back to you. What you got?
It's exactly right. And for the life of me, I cannot understand how some of the, I listen to. Oh my gosh, I've had people messaging me all week. Oh my God, the referees gave them the game. They gave them the game. I'm here to tell you guys, 31-9.
The game.
The referees could have gave them 2 more touchdowns if they wanted to. I mean, for the Chiefs, I'm saying,
Yeah.
Called pass interference like they did all over the field on Tom Brady's receivers that everybody's complaining about. But at the end of the day, even with the refs, you can say helping Brady out, they would have still won the game. So
they kicked field goals.
Exactly. 3
field goals. The Buccaneers kicked 3 field goals. Or excuse me, the Chiefs kicked 3 field goals. The Buccaneers scored touchdowns.
Yep.
That's how you win. And the thing, Mahomes is still unbelievable, dude. That one pass where the guy still should have caught it. I don't remember if it was to Tyreek Hill or what it was, where he's running out of the pocket, getting tripped. He's literally vertical. He's parallel to the ground, not vertical, parallel to the ground, throws it sidearm and still gets it there. I'm like, holy crap. I'm like, I thought I was going to be a touchdown. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is ridiculous. I mean, he legitimately is ridiculous. And like I said, I've said it a million times. Pressure breaks pipe. And I always say, who said it on here? Oh yeah, Titus. And this is He said, "Do you think this is the blueprint for beating the Kansas City Chiefs next time?" Absolutely. It's the blueprint for beating any team in the NFL. Yeah. Look what the Giants did. How they beat the undefeated Patriots. They got pressure on Brady. Brady didn't get touched in the Super Bowl. I don't even think his uniform got dirty, except for champagne and beer dumped on it afterwards.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how you win. You can have all the toys you want, like Kansas City has. If you can't keep your quarterback upright, it doesn't matter. You can have the best quarterback in football right now, which is Patrick Mahomes, and you still lose.
Exactly. And if you don't have a pass rush, which we didn't all year, and Kansas City can say, well, we had 2 starting tackles out. Blah, 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 blah. We have had all year. We played ring around the rosy with the whole year. So that's no excuse to me. It's next man up mentality. They can say maybe that's why he got rushed more, I guess you could say, but it doesn't matter. We've all dealt with the injuries, and you know what? They brought Mahomes back down to earth, and now teams are going to take that video and they're going to be saying, hey, if this is what Mahomes is, right, when you can get pressure on him, this is how we're coming at him from here on out.
Yeah. And that brings us to the Bengals. Like we said since we started doing this show, 6-7 months ago, you got to have the offensive line and you got to get pressure on the quarterback. And it came out today. I think you shared it on Bengals Brigade and I shared it on Who Dey Nation. By the way, welcome to everybody watching us on Who Dey Nation and Ohio State Buck Nuts. I'd like to give a shout out to those 2 groups for letting us live stream on them today.
Got some nuggets on the Buckeye basketball too, by the way, but go ahead.
Yep, we'll get to that. Yep. But the Ratbirds, Orlando Brown has requested a trade. Now, I put this on Who Dey Nation with a question. Do you think the Bengals have enough to get him? What would it take to get him? And do you think they do an in-division trade? I'd be surprised if they do, but you had a thought on it. What were you talking about?
You know what? We were talking a few weeks ago about maybe letting Gio go and getting his contract money flipped over onto our space. But I look at it on our cap space, but I look at it this way, we've got plenty of money in our cap space. So we really don't need to get rid of Gio. But if the Ravens, who I called it, Mark Barron would be bye-bye, JK all day, Ohio State Dobbins would take that spot, and that's what he's done. What a number 2 backup in Baltimore with Giovanni Bernard, and what the next 3 or 4 years solid tackle for the Bengals would Brown be. So that's something I was running through my head. It's actually, there are rumors out there about it as well. So it's not just me spewing out what I'd like to hear or see, but I don't know what you think about it, Jeff, but I was just kind of, what?
Well, I think it would be a good trade for both. I don't see it happening. I don't think they're going to do an in-division trade. Yeah, I don't see it happening. And I think the Bengals would have to give up like a second or third round pick along with Gio for that to happen, which I'd be willing to do. I give up, a second round or third round along with Gio to get him. I prefer a third, obviously, but that's what I would do to try to make that happen. But the other option is, we've talked about this a ton now. It's not just us talking about it. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler is saying the Bengals are the best fit for the New England Patriots O-line Joe Thuney and the Buffalo Bills Matt Milano, which if you could get him mixed in with Logan Wilson, Davis Gaither, Josh Bynes, you get all four of those going in your linebacking core, because Milano's been there, done that, and he can help Wilson get better, Davis Gaither get better, and pressure on the quarterback.
Yep. And look, you got Josh Bynes there already. That'd be two veterans helping these guys out. And, it still hasn't – it's not solving our defensive line problem, but we've got enough money to do that. If we get Joe Thuney,
Shaq Barrett.
Shaq Barrett, but Thuney keeping Burrow safe, because if we learned anything again, is you cannot have enough good offensive linemen, because they're going to go down. The Chiefs found that out. They weren't ready for it. They didn't have any backups that were capable. So, Orlando Brown, that's a very good name. I like to see. I don't probably about a 50% chance, depending on how bad they want a second running back to go with J.K. Dobbins in Baltimore. But you never know. And we've got over $40 million in cap space now.
Well, Brown wants to get paid because he was a right tackle and he moved over to left this year. He'll want to come here, or if the trade happens, he wants a bump in pay, and I would be glad to give it to him. No problem. You signed. I don't know how long he signed for, but I'd extend him out a little bit and give him some more money and let him come here and be our left tackle for the next 5 years or whatever. If you get him and Thuney, our offensive line, I think, is fixed. I really do. I think we. Well, and the other thing, I can't remember. I think it was Tommy he's on from Who Day Nation. He mentioned a guy that was at a Division II school who's a center/guard, and I was listening to NFL radio this weekend, and he's from, I think it's the same guy they're talking about. He's from Grambling, and they said I wish I could remember his name, but he could be a good steal at third or fourth round pick, because Trey Hopkins probably most likely won't be ready for the beginning of the year. None of us believe in Billy Price. If you can get him where he can play both guard and center, let him play center until Hopkins gets back, or if he's playing great, to me, I'm always like, people are like, you don't lose your job on injuries. But if the person that's playing is playing better than the person that was in there before, despite the injury, to me, it's kind of hard to move him. But I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. But if you add that guy, get him in the third or fourth round, along with a left tackle and another guard, dude, our offensive line's fixed. And then we got to get a pass rusher, which, if you look, Buccaneers basically had two guys. Three guys. They had Suko up the middle. They had Pierre Paul. And then, the linebacker, White. Dude is way better than – I didn't know he was that good.
Oh, LSU.
I'll be honest.
Good. The only knock on him, honestly, and I watched a ton of LSU games when he was in college, and he's got the speed, he's got the power. I mean, just anything you can want, but his size was what kept him back, I guess, a little bit. Another guy the Bengals could have taken, and it just, oh, man. I mean, because you watch this guy running sideline to sideline, he's making tackles, he's covering tight ends, he's great. So we're going to have to build on that for sure, whether it's Shaq Barrett, who I hate to pay a bunch of money to after we just had him in here.
To get him, if he even gives the Bengals the time of day, which he might not even do that, because we could have had him for, what was it, $14 million?
2 years.
2 years. And he had a shoulder injury. That's why the Bengals didn't sign him. That was a good job. Whatever doctor said, that should be fired.
Yep. Levante David is also up, I do believe. There was like 5 Patriots. Somebody came out and said the Bengals need to sign. which
Well,
we're not,
they're not signed,
Buccaneers.
yeah. Well,
Buccaneers.
Yeah, Buccaneers. Yeah, I saw. Yeah, we're not signing. And the Buccaneers are good. They're going to keep a lot of them. I mean,
Yeah.
and the thing is, they got Tom Brady. There's going to be guys willing to take less money to stay there and get another ring.
Yeah.
I mean, Brady's not going anywhere. I mean, he's going to play at least, I think, another two or 3 years at least.
Yeah, well, the way he's talking, he wants to play. What I heard, a quote from him was 45 or after. So
yeah, that would be freaking ridiculous, man. I'm 45, I'm almost 46, and I'm sore from just doing my own job.
I know.
I can't imagine playing football, but I mean, he takes care of himself. I think him and Giselle switched to vegan a couple years ago. So I mean, there's a reason that Brady is still healthy and still doing one. He's never, other than that knee injury, about 10 years ago or so now.
Yep.
He's never had a big major injury in his throwing arm or anything like that. That's the only major injury he's had. I mean, like into Peyton Manning's career is his neck. He got that neck surgery, and then his shoulder kind of went south, and it happens. I mean, guys get hurt, and they just can't perform at the level that they used to. But Brady looks as good as he did 10 years ago. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, he's eating spinach ice cream, for crying out loud. He's staying young, and he's doing a great job. He don't have a rocket arm. You don't have to have a rocket arm.
No.
You got a good offensive line. You really don't have to have much at all. You can kind of look around. If you're smart, pretty much you got to have it up here. As long as you have a good offensive line. Yeah. And they made sure Brady had one this year, and look what happened.
Yeah, and that's the thing with I don't know, said it a million times. That's the thing with the Bengals. The other thing that's interesting, we were talking about this in the pre-show fist fight, is when we were kids, when I was a kid, I loved the offseason of baseball because it was they call it the hot stove league. Trades happened, free agents got signed, all this stuff would happen. Barely anything happens in baseball. And the NBA, guys are moving all over the place in the offseason. The NFL has started to be like that, and it's quarterbacks. I mean, we already had, 2 number 1 overall picks traded for each other in Matthew Stafford and Goff. And now Russell Wilson came out yesterday and said, he wants more say-so, which I think people kind of took that the wrong way, that he wants, he wants them to get wide receivers and get stuff like that. Russell Wilson doesn't want to get sacked. He's tired. And that's one guy, he's never had a great offensive line. He's had a great defense, and they could run the ball, but as far as passing, he's gotten sacked. I think he's like 400 and something times he's gotten sacked in his career. Something like, I'm going off the top of my head. I can't remember what it is, but it's something ridiculous. And I mean, so these quarterbacks, especially the older they get, like I've said this a million times, there's a lot of young running quarterbacks. There's not a lot of old running quarterbacks. And believe it or not, Russell Wilson's been in here NFL 10 years already. So, I mean, he's going to start having to, or not be able to, scramble around like he used to. So he wants an input at getting an offensive line, to help him. He wants to run the ball too. So, I think people kind of misconstrued that. But you also got Carson Wentz. There was a rumor coming out today that the Bears are trying to get him, or the Colts are trying to get him. You got that. I mean, it's football season doesn't stop anymore. There's always stuff to talk about. There's always stuff going on.
Oh, definitely. And there's stuff that's going to be happening before now, and free agency and everything else that, we just don't really know about. We're just kind of throwing it out there of what may happen, what might happen. And hell, if we're half right about what we're saying, I think we're going to be okay. As long as that offensive line's fixed and we can get some sort of defensive pass rush going, especially if we're letting go of Geno, who, he didn't really do that well this year whatsoever. Lawson,
AJ are gone.
Yep, Lawson. He's kind of in the. They say there's 5 teams that are kind of looking at him, might offer him something.
Dude, I can tell you if Lawson, we've said this before that we don't want to franchise tag him, but if we have to, we have to. I mean, I hate to say it because I don't really want to lose him unless they got something else in the works, because there's nobody behind him.
There
isn't.
I'm with you there. Go ahead.
So you got him and Hubbard. Those are our only two pass rushers. Defensive end wise, we don't have anybody else. So we really can't afford to lose one of them. Now, Gamer says the Bengals. Rumors saying they won't address the wide receiver and replacing AJ Green. Which, I mean, honestly, is it really that hard to replace AJ Green for what he's done last year? I mean, I'm not trying to talk crap about AJ, but he didn't do much of anything. I mean, you can replace him with Auden Tate. You can replace him with Michael Thomas. I mean, for the production we got out of him.
You just took the words out of my mouth. I was going to say, okay, we'll put Auden Tate in there every game other than AJ. I mean, they put up some of them put up a little better stats, but didn't play much. Right. And it is what it is there. But going back to Lawson, I don't see anybody offering him top money for 4 years or a 5-year deal for $15.5 million a year. I just don't see how you can add a defensive end that had what was it, 6 sacks? I think I said 5 last time, and I was off by 1.
And he like created the second most pressures or something like that. I mean, which pressure is great. I mean, like I said, pressure breaks pipes, but you got to get to the quarterback.
Mm-hmm. And I think we need them both. We need him, Willie J. the third. Mm-hmm. We need to bring in Shaq Barrett or one of these guys, and we need to fix that offensive line, and then we can skip it. Yeah, exactly, and skip into the draft. And you know what? Take Chase, take Sewell, take whatever you want to do. Double up on the O-line if you want to.
Well, that's the thing I keep saying is I would rather address the offensive line via free agency. To be honest, I really would, because we have tried to draft guys. I mean, if you guys have watched the show, I went through the list of guys from Cedric Ogbuehi to Fisher to Billy Price, now to Jonah Williams, which I'm not putting Jonah Williams in at the bus, but he's gotten hurt. Right. But these are guys who
Bowling's gone.
Yeah, we've drafted and have not been able to develop. Now, hopefully, Frank Pollock, our new / old offensive line coach, will only makes. I mean, coaching does make a difference. I mean, it does. I mean, so we've seen that in Armadillo, where we don't think he can coach. And man, I was listening to NFL radio again. I was listening to that last night at work, and they were replaying the stuff they did at night. And Wade Phillips was on there, and he said nobody's asked him to even. He said he's still interested in coaching. I'm like, oh my goodness, that's who I want to be the Bengals defensive coordinator. It's not going to happen. But he said something kind of funny, like, well, I've even offered to be, a senior advisor or something. I was like, God, please let the Bengals get him as a senior advisor to the defense coordinator or something. Get him in here.
Get him in here
at all. Yeah, to get Wade Phillips in there, get him in here.
Make him an assistant coach / assistant defensive coordinator.
Yeah, and then fire Armadillo and put it.
Exactly. 2 or 3 games in, our defense sucks. Get rid of him. Let Phillips take over. Right. Why not?
That would be awesome. Like I said, it's not going to happen. It's more of a pipe dream. Paul says Tooney at guard, Morton at offensive tackle and free agent. Yeah, we've said that. Right. Yeah, mm-hmm. That Morton's the tackle out of Carolina, and that would be fine. We get both those guys. That's great. We fix our line. We get a guard. We get a tackle. And then if we could draft that kid from Grambling in the 3rd or 4th round, he could play center. Until Trey Hopkins gets back. Which, I mean, unless Frank Pollock can make Billy Price better until Hopkins gets back, but
you know what? And the good thing about taking, I guess, a chance on a kid in the 3rd, 4th round that plays center guard, Hopkins has proven to be one of the best centers.
Oh yeah.
But we forget sometimes he was also he was a solid ass guard too. Yeah. So,
right. Yeah.
We can kind of play around in that area and not really have to.
That's the thing with this kid from Grandma I was talking about. He can play guard too. So Hopkins and him, if you get them both, it's like I said, the reason the Buccaneers won the Super Bowl, they got pressure with just 4. That's what everybody's got to remember. 4 guys. They didn't blitz. They got pressure and they dropped 7 back. That's how you beat teams that throw the ball. And Kansas City, I don't know why Kansas City didn't try to run more when they only got 4 guys up front. That's, I mean, a bad coaching decision, I think.
You know, I got to tell you, when I watched that game, it did not look like the same team to me. The play calling was vanilla.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see anything like I saw the last 2 games. There was nothing special there whatsoever other than him going back. I know he's got a turf toe, Mahomes, but
yeah, he did surgery on it here too.
Yeah. But he could move. You know what I mean? He was still able to move, run around. He got a few first downs. But to play that vanilla, I just did not understand it. When they're coming at you, you've got these quick wide receivers. Where's the quick screens? You know, you got a quick running back. Where's your quick?
Le'Veon Bell. Did you even hear his name called in the Super Bowl? Le'Veon Bell was considered the best running back in football. 3 years ago? They didn't hear from him.
Yep.
I don't even know if he touched the ball.
Yep.
I'll read that on Keith.
Yeah,
He said Carl Lawson is not worth the big money. He's no good for any 3-4 defense. He's too small to play 3-4 DN. He can't drop back in coverage as a 3-4 linebacker or outside linebacker often do. Sam Hubbard has doubled Lawson in. Hang on, he's got some more here. You can only type so much. Tackle, while Hubbard has played 3 years and Lawson has played 4. Keith, I agree with you. But the thing is, I'm afraid to lose the talent that we have. I mean, I agree with everything you're saying there. They got to be able to have somebody. I'm hoping they have a plan to replace, if they let Lawson go, to replace, because those are our only 2 defensive ends that did anything. You know, that's all we had.
Well, and Keith also brought up, I think, did he not bring up, Lawson was going to be our.
Hello? Hello, Jeremy D.
You there?
I'm still here. Are you here?
What the? I'm sorry, guys. As you can tell,
got a phone call in the middle of the show.
Yep. And I have it sunk to my computer, so I guess that's what happened. But anyway. The way, it's just we don't have. Are you kidding? How do I stop this?
I don't know. Turn your phone off. Daryl says, "Hey guys, I had a conversation with my brother about Joe Mixon, and he's kind of sour on him. Really, he says Mixon is not the kind of back that takes over games if we need him. Really, if he need him to be wants a Dylan type runner. I don't think your brother's seen Mixon play very often. Then, if that's what he thinks, because Mixon definitely can take over games. Mixon's doing all this. He's had." 4 years, 1,000 yards, and he's done that with no offensive line. Mixon can definitely take over games, and that's the thing too. Well, I'll say if we let Gio go or we trade him, either way, you fix the offensive line, you can pound the ball with Mixon and Perine, and Mixon can catch the ball out of the backfield too. And we can really pound people to the ground.
And don't forget about Travion Williams too. At the same time. This kid, you never know, but Mixon, my God, the jump he's probably one of the best jump cut running backs I've seen in Cincinnati for a long time. I mean, this guy, he's getting hit 2 yards back, 3 yards back in the end zone, or not in the end zone, behind the line of scrimmage. He's bouncing, he makes the cut, makes the first man miss. Once you do that, the defense starts to converge on you, and you're not going to get that 10, 15 yard. I mean, you're going to get 3-4 yards, and that's what he dealt with most of the last year, but he was still awesome.
Now, this is one thing. Gamer says The Athletic is reporting on February 4th saying the Bengals will sign an elite tackle, but wouldn't rule out the Bengals taking another tackle with the number 5 pick. I don't disagree with that. I mean, I've said this before. We've got to stack talent, and our biggest asset is Joe freaking Burrow. You got to do anything you can to keep him from ever getting hurt again, if at all possible. So, yeah, if we take a tackle, move Jonah to guard. I don't know if he can play guard or not, but if you get 2 tackles, I mean, I'm not saying Jonah's bad, but he's got hurt the last 2 years, and that worries me.
Yeah, he played a good bit of this year, and I think really, I don't know if he could have came back. He probably could have come back, I guess you could say. I think Mixon probably could have came back, but
they could have came back, but it wasn't worth it. I mean, I didn't want Mixon to come back. I wanted Mixon to just get healthy and come back next year.
That's kind of the way I felt with, with the offensive line. You've got him. You've got Ciafilo. He was injured. Quite a bit of the year, came back, played solid. But with Jonah Williams, he played most of the year. He got a little nicked up, and I think that was mainly just out of, okay, next year we're going to build this line. We're going to get guys beside you, and this is going to be over with.
Dog's in the house. What's up, dog?
What up, dog?
I saw a throw Mahomes did in the Super Bowl. It was sick. I think you're talking about the one I was talking about earlier where he was vertical, literally vertical, forward sidearm, and still got it there. I mean, that was that's probably one of the greatest throws I've ever seen. And the Chiefs should have caught the ball. It should have been a touchdown.
Well,
that would have been unbelievable.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it wouldn't even have mattered. I mean, because like you were saying, Jeff, the defense won the championship. I know we've gotten rid of that term, and offense has started winning. It did last year, but you know what? The defense was ready. They had a game plan for Mahomes, and if I were the 30 other teams watching that game on my couch Sunday, I would be looking at that film very, very closely. Just
gotta say what's up to Get Low. Get low. Gamer says didn't have over 600 consecutive carries. I guess he's talking about Mixon. Yeah, but is that this year or last year? What are you talking about as far as that? I mean, Mixon, dude. Like, I agree with Gillo here. Mixon's the real deal.
Oh, there's no doubt. I wouldn't give him up for. I love Mixon. Mixon is the man. He's going to be here. He's the team's biggest cheerleader. If you can have a running back like that, that's good for 1,000, 1,500 yards every year behind a decent line. We haven't even got to watch this man behind a good line yet, by the way.
No, we haven't.
So we don't even know his ceiling yet.
Right. Paul says Burrow wants Chase. He said it several times. Yes, he has. There's plenty of offensive tackle talent later rounds in the draft. I agree. This is a very high quality offensive line draft.
I don't know about tackles.
Yeah, tackles not so much. Tackles are pretty much in the first round. It's the two tackles, either Slater or Sewell. Those are the two tackles. Everybody else is pretty much guard, center. I mean, there's gonna be guys they'll try it. I mean, Leatherwood, Brown, those guys they could, you never know. But the two that are legit right now are those two. But like I said, I would love them to get Tooney, Morton, or you get Brown, or get Trent Williams. Sign these guys, and then you could take Chase. And if you get that offensive line, and you got Chase in there, because you can go take another offensive lineman in the second round. But a second round, I really want them to take the best defensive pass rusher available. Is what I like them to do. But all it depends on what happens in the draft.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we've got to figure out what our needs are and then not reach. So if we fix the offensive line and Chase is out there, you got to take him. If the offensive line's fixed, Devontae Smith, everybody's real high on him. I don't even want to talk.
He's little. That's the only thing that scares me about him. He's little.
Me too. But I know, yes. And if I say something about him, he's going to end up blowing up. Right, So I don't want that. But I just feel like we have a safer bet with Chase. I feel like Burrow's got better rapport, and I feel like going down the field, there was those back shoulder throws that him and Burrow are just so perfect at.
Well, it's just like Paul here said. I'll bring this back up. I mean, this would be ridiculous if we could get this. You have Chase, Higgins, Boyd. That would be awesome. Those three together.
Yeah, Boyd at 3. I mean, Boyd's a number
Boyd,
1 on most teams.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you necessarily meant it in that order, but just have those three on the field at a time.
No, I'm with you, Paul, for sure. Yeah. Didn't mean
And then Bob the Destroyer. What's up? I think you're new.
Hey.
At least I don't remember that name, but welcome to the show. And yes, I agree with you. Bates is the most underrated defensive back in the league. You are correct on that. Now, Foxy is back, and he was clarifying what he was saying. He was talking about Mixon has had over 600 carries without fumbling.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, Mixon, if anybody, whoever that was that I can't remember which comment it was, but you're talking to your brother. Your brother, we'll give you some stats to help you out to defend Mixon. I mean, Mixon's the real deal, dude.
Yeah. It cracks me up to see anybody that will say, oh, look what Gio did. He got 60 yards this game. He had 30 in passing. Mixon needs to be sitting on the bench. Bernard needs to be.
Yeah, we had that. I forgot. We had that conversation. Somebody posted that on one of the Bengals groups. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, what? Crip says Bates was on the NFL Network this morning. I didn't get to see that. What am I trying to find out and watching that?
Me too. Because he was named, I think, Pro Football Focus or one top 25 players in the league. So how in the hell did he not go to the Pro Bowl?
I have no idea. That blows my mind. Paul's calling us out. He says we need to do more homework on the O-line in this draft. There are 6 or 7 really good guys, but I prefer to get Morton in free agency to add them for depth. I agree with you on that. Now, there's guys that are good. I'm not saying there wasn't any good guys, but the 2 top ones was Tooney and Sewell. Those are the 2 top tackles.
And if you've listened to our last, I don't think you're new. So we're going also by the busts that we've had. So we would rather take care of it, well, like you're mentioning, in free agency.
Right.
And then not worry about another offensive line bust like we have been through the past. My gosh, Jeff, actually, you kind of said it started going off the reins in 15,
Yeah. 15, that's when 2015 draft, the only person that did anything from that entire draft is CJ.
Ooh.
Paul, sorry, dude. The snow sucks. Been driving for 2 hours and 15 minutes. Still not close to home. Brother, I feel your pain. Trust me. I feel your pain.
Stay safe,
I was stuck in that coming home from the airport. Like I said, the airport was literally, it's a half hour from my house. I mean, if the ferry, which we have a ferry here in Cincinnati, take the boat across, I can get there. And if the ferry comes over quick, I can get there in 15, 20 minutes if I go that way, which, I mean, the ferry wasn't open at, 11 o'clock at night when I got home, but oh my goodness, that snow sucks. But
I gotta tell you, it was so freaking hot down here today. I just, it's.
So anyway, we're just gonna kick Jeremy off the show now if he's gonna do that. Hey, what's up, Jeremy?
I'm back. Oh man, yeah, I gotta give you a hard time about the snow.
Yep.
But hey, I will tell you this, Jeff. I told you this the other day. In the summer, I would take Cincinnati any day of the week.
Yeah. Well, like I said, my wife is from Florida, and I've been down in Florida. We lived in Florida for the first year and a half that we were married.
Miserable.
For this Ohio boy, I can't stand it. I mean, I literally can't stand it. It is so hot. Like Sunday or Monday when we're heading back, we went out to eat, and from dinner we were going to leave, get on the plane. So I had to put my pants on. I wasn't wearing shorts. The whole time I was there, I was wearing shorts and flip flops the whole time.
Right.
So I had to put pants on, long sleeves, all this crap. I'm like, I'm so hot. So I wore my Burrow jersey home. So I took my long sleeve shirt off underneath, and I wore that on the plane. And when I got out of the airport, I'm walking around. I had, pants on, but I'm walking around in short sleeves. I'm like, And I sent a video back to my in-laws like, see, Ohio boy's home. This doesn't bother him. This doesn't bother me. I mean, it's cold, but dude, cold.
You know what? A couple weeks, a year to not have to go through a summer of pure 100% humidity, 100 degrees. I'll take it.
I mean, the thing is, dude, the summer, like wintertime, it's cold. You can add layers. You know, you can move, you can do stuff, try to get yourself warm. When it's hot, it's freaking hot. And if you're outside, there's nothing you can do about it.
No, period. I pretty much stay indoors until the sun is gone during the summer. That's the way it is. I mean, it's completely miserable. The bugs are out everywhere. We got fire ants up here.
They had that in Florida too. Like I moved down to Florida. Like I was like, man, it's flat here. It's hot. I said, you get stuck or bit by everything.
Exactly.
I'm like, you have ants that bite? I'm like, what the heck? I never
we got ants. The fire ants will actually, depending on however many of them will get on you, if you step into a fire ant hill and you don't realize you're in it, if there's 15 ants on your ankle and you take a step back, they've got these radars in their head, no joke, and they all bite at the same time. And it's just like pain.
Oh, man.
It's miserable.
One time I parked under a tree. I got ants in my car. I got fire ants in my car. I'm like, how in the hell? I'm like, what?
Making a bed in your car, even?
Yeah. Then I had to get stuff to spray it out, clean. I'm like, because I'm sitting there driving going, ow, ow, what the hell? Like, I'm getting bit. What's biting me in my own car? Like, come on. Like, oh my goodness. I'm like, I need to go back to Ohio, man. Like I said, that was 24 years ago. I'm more prepared for it now. I know what happens, but I can't stand it. Like in Ohio, it gets hot like that every once in a while. You know, there's times like, oh my goodness, it's so hot.
Oh, right.
Yeah. But in Florida, down south, you're going to like what? March, April, it's going to start getting 90s. And it goes out till November. Like, holy crap.
Yeah. Oh, I'd say more to April. That's our tornado season. And that's when the hot weather starts coming in and it's kind of clashing with the back end of the cold air. And that's what makes all the tornadoes down here that everybody goes nuts about.
Right.
But yeah, April definitely is when we start hitting the 80s mark. And then from there on, it's misery.
All right, let's get back into the talk here. Daryl says, Darrell, I think it's how you say it. Sorry if I say your name wrong. Question: what do we need to do as fans to try and get Ken Anderson and Ken Riley in the Hall of Fame? Well, me and my boy, well, actually not me, but Bengal Jim, if you guys know who he is putting together I won't even say it's not, I will say a rally / tailgate Hall of Fame weekend to try and get Ken Riley and Ken Anderson in the Hall of Fame. Now, I'll just put this graphic up there. Ken Riley is still fifth in the all-time NFL interception career leaders. Fifth. Everybody above him's in. 3 guys down below him are in.
And below him. Yeah.
It's ridiculous. So whenever this happens, Bengal Jim's going to have more information on it, and I will be definitely giving you guys information on it. We're going to go do a rally / tailgate. You know, we're not trying to cause any trouble or anything, but it's ridiculous that the Bengals have one guy in the Hall of Fame. I mean, the Buccaneers, now they won their second Super Bowl. John Lynch is going in. I mean, they've got guys in the Hall of Fame from when they were the Yuccaneers in the 70s and 80s. They still have more guys in there than we do. And I'm not talking trash about the Buccaneers or anything like that. I'm just saying they had guys in there before they won Super Bowls. You know, we can't get, I mean, Ken Anderson, if you look at his stats compared to the Chargers quarterback in the 80s, what is his name? Played the Freezer Bowl. I had his name. I can't think of it now. I keep want to say Coryell. That's not it. It's Anyway, you guys know who I'm talking about. He played in the Freezer Bowl. Him and Ken Anderson have almost exact same stats. He never went to the Super Bowl. Ken Anderson went to the Super Bowl. Ken Anderson beat him in the AFC Championship game in 1981 in the Freezer Bowl. He's in there. Why can't I think of his name? Man.
It's killing me. I turned my phone off and I cannot. I was going to look it up.
Yeah, Fouts. There you go. Foxy's got it. Dan Fouts.
Dan freaking Fouts.
I kept thinking Air Coryell. I was like, no, it's not it. Dan Fouts. Yes. Yep. That's who I'm talking. Dan Fouts is in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. What did he win? He didn't win nothing. He never even went to a Super Bowl. Ken Anderson went to one and NFL MVP. And I mean, if you look at his he was a passing leader multiple times in the NFL in the 70s, most of the 70s. But these are things that it's like, there's no reason him and Ken Riley should not be in the Hall of Fame. We got to get them in. Then you got to get Willie Anderson in, because Willie Anderson was, between him and Jonathan Ogden, were the two best right tackles in the league in their era. Jonathan Ogden's in. Willie Anderson's not. Why? Because it's the Bengals. Now, like I said, I do put that on. I've said this before. I do put it on the Bengals for not promoting their former players like at all. I mean, we don't have a Ring of Honor. We don't bring any of the guys back. The only time they ever brought any of the guys back was for the 50th anniversary of the Bengals, and that was 20 years ago. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, but my thing is once we get our Ring of Honor put up, hopefully all that goes through in 5 years. Everything, we get the money, we can make PBS just shine. But I don't even know how much that's going to help. I don't understand what it is. You can stack the talent beside the talent from Dan Fouts to Kenny Anderson, from Willie Anderson to Ogden, and there's no difference there except one was on a more successful franchise. I guess you could put it that way.
Who, the Chargers?
No, I'm talking about Ogden.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah. That's the only thing I can think of, because you put them together and my God, it doesn't get any better than those two. Late 90s, mid 90s, early early 2000s. Yeah,
2000s,
yeah. So I'll never understand it. I don't know what we got to do. Maybe we got to, go out and, stand there with our little signs and picket for him or whatever.
Yeah, we got to do something, because the Bengals aren't doing it. So we got to try to do something as fans. So when I get more information, I'll let you guys know about it. But Titus has a great point here. How did Calvin Johnson get into the Hall of Fame? He plays for the Detroit Lions. He didn't win crap. And he needs to win a Super Bowl. Thought you got to win multiple Super Bowls to get in the Hall of Fame. It's that way. It's like that with Chad Johnson and all of them. Yeah, exactly. We keep saying, you got to win Hall of Fame. You got to win Super Bowls. You got to do this. Well, not really. Because they're in.
Yeah, I mean, Johnson went to a bunch of Pro Bowls, and still not even a word mentioned about him. You got Calvatron or Megatron, I guess. Yeah. And
I just don't understand why none of the Bengals players are not in the Hall of Fame. We got one, Anthony Munoz. We do have one.
Yeah.
Yet we got Calvin Johnson from the Lions going to the Hall of Fame. That's not right. Yeah, I agree with you. It's ridiculous. I mean, I'm not saying Calvin Johnson does not deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. He does. He was a Hall of Fame player. I'm just saying, how are they getting in? And how come we can't get Ken Riley, who's fifth? He retired in 1983, and he's still fifth. And he can't get in. He can't even get a sniff. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. And we got, 3 players underneath him with less interceptions that are already in the Hall of Fame, not waiting, but, I think Woodson's this year, isn't he? Or has he already been?
Woodson's in this year.
This year. Okay. So it's a joke.
Shorty said, Tyus, that's a lazy take. Calvin was on pace to break every single receiving record and would have done it. Well, that's great. I agree with you. But Ken Riley is on the all-time record. So, no, I don't understand. I'm with Titus. I don't understand how Megatron can get in and Kane Riley can't even get a sniff. I know they're two different positions, but yeah, and he was on pace to do it. Great, but he quit before he could get to it. So
Yeah.
I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. I think he deserves it. There's a bias to the Cincinnati Bengals or against Cincinnati Bengals and their players, and I don't get it. And then Detroit, we've went to 2 Super Bowls. The Lions haven't went to crap, and they've got. I mean, Barry Sanders, which we all agree Barry Sanders should be in the Hall of Fame, and I'll agree Calvin Johnson should be in the Hall of Fame. But how can we not get any more? We only got 1 now. They got 2 or more. I mean, it's. I get fired up about it. Sorry.
He may have been talking about the Chad Johnson comparison too.
Yeah, maybe.
That could have been. But at the end of the day, the big name players that, Chad kind of hurt himself doing the little antics he did. I really believe that hurt him more than anything. Then again, he was just trying to have fun. And if he was doing it today, it would be completely legal. No flags.
Right.
No.
Right.
Well,
it was legal. And then it wasn't legal, and it was just like they did. Remember the Icky Shuffle? They did that, and they didn't. All said, "Oh no, you can't do that. You got to go do the sideline." I mean, it was just like, "Oh, the no huddle offense." Oh well, that's illegal. But next year, let's come out. Let's call it the K gun. Oh my goodness, this is the greatest offense I've ever seen. Hello, Sam Weiss. The Bengals did it the year before. You said it was illegal.
Yep.
I'm just. It's always something with the Bengals, man.
It's amazing.
Give me a break.
It really is.
Oh my goodness. Let's see here. Who we got? Yeah, Paul says bunch of bullies in the Hall of Fame. Yeah. There's a bunch of guys in there that aren't like great guys in the Hall of Fame. I mean, that's
not a bunch of BS for sure.
Shorty, both can be true. Riley and Anderson, Ocho should be in. Calvin is clearly a first ballot. Both are true. Yeah, I agree with it. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying Calvin doesn't deserve it. I'm not. It just ticks me off that the biggest one to tick me off. Not even Chad. I mean, I think Chad be. I don't know. He's not getting any play for the Bengals, but Ken Anderson, Ken Riley should be in. Willie Anderson should be in. And I'm not saying. I mean, they're not first ballot. I mean, they've been, retired for a while now, but it's just I don't get it. And I wish the Bengals would do more to try to help them,
Yeah, me too. And even a guy like Chris Collinsworth, man, the game's changed so much since when those guys played. Things are way different. If Kenny Anderson played in this era,
he'd be killing it. Killing it.
I mean, so you look at it that way too, and you could think, my gosh, this guy would. I don't know who could stop him. He was so accurate. He was just a smart quarterback, and back then you got hit, you got tackled.
Oh, you got hit.
Yeah, and there was no flags all over the field. There was no laundry if you got pushed down after you threw the ball.
You get clotheslined.
Exactly.
They didn't call anything.
And Paul was dead right there. I think that was probably the most watched Bengals time, I guess you could say, when we were winning with Chad Johnson, because you always want to know what he's going to do next.
Well, that's one thing I will give the national media credit. When the Bengals are winning, they do give us credit. I mean, they bang on us. They switch like that real quick when we start going bad. But I mean, that 5-year playoff run, we got a lot of praise, a lot of props. And then, when Chad was there and Carson was there, we got a lot of praise, a lot of props. It's just when we start losing, they're like, oh, it's the Bengals again. It's back to the 90s. Like, no, it's not.
We brought in Terrell Owens and that, and then, back to the old, they're going ridiculous.
All right, I want to get some college basketball talk going here. I know you got some Ohio State stuff. I got some Bearcat stuff because I can actually talk about my Bearcats, which I have got to give props to John Brandon and the Bearcats. They didn't play for 5-6 games, and they come out and win their first 2. It's awesome. They beat Let's see here. Temple 63-60, and then they turn around and beat Tulane 64-61. On there, like, oh, it's Temple, Tulane. Yet they hadn't played in a month. They hadn't even been able to practice 5-on-5. They did it, I think, once or twice. They had assistant coaches jumping in to help them play, to help them, create enough, people on the court to play. So I'm very proud and excited that they got to play. The game versus Houston on February 21st has been changed. It's not going to be here. It was supposed to be in Cincinnati. It is now moved to Houston at 1 o'clock on ESPN. Now, I'm glad we didn't jump right into Houston right away, because Houston, I mean, they're a juggernaut. They're a legit. I can't stand them. I can't stand Calvin Sampson. I can't stand them. I don't like them at all. But they are a good team. I got to give them props. Now, tomorrow night, the Cats are playing again. It's at 7 o'clock on ESPN2, and it's at Memphis. Now, my only hope I'm giving Bearcat fans, the only hope I'm giving us for basketball, is hopefully we can kind of get it together, and when the AAC tournament starts, we're going to run and we win it. That's the only shot the Bearcats have of getting in the dance. Now, this is another interesting thing. We were talking about this on the pre-show fist fight, which I could not believe, but somebody tweeted this out about a week. I saw this before I left for the Super Bowl, but none of the 13 winningest programs in D1 history are currently ranked in the AP poll. That goes Kentucky, Kansas, North Carolina, Duke, Temple, Syracuse, UCLA, Notre Dame, St. John's, Indiana, Arizona, Utah, and at number 13, the University of Cincinnati. None of them are ranked. This is one crazy, crazy college basketball season. But the Ohio State Buckeyes are doing pretty good, and Joe Lunardi has them as a number 1 seed as of right now, going into the tournament. Jeremy D.
Well, you know what? The way they came out and played against Iowa just showed the world right there. I mean, we've beaten so many ranked teams this year. You cannot look past us. We are the number 4 team in the country. And then we kind of had a little Maryland game. I think we overlooked just a tad bit. We still ended up winning the game. I'm sure you guys, any Bucknuts on here that may be watching, we still ended up winning 73-65, but it should have never been that close. Maryland's a 10-9 team, but you know what? Kyle Young, he showed up big time, 16 points. Justin Aarons was draining threes, 11 points, 4 rebounds. EJ Liddell, he actually had his worst game of the year, but when it mattered in the second half, towards the end of the second half, the kid ended up with 7 points, 6 rebounds, made a killer alley-oop dunk that was just to pretty much slice him right there, be done with it. And then Washington, Kobe Bryant's nephew, he actually had a very good game. 18 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. CJ Walker, 11 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. 10 of 26 three-point shooting, not our best. But, hey, man, we had 7 steals, 5 blocks. Our next game's at Indiana. Indiana's unranked as well. It's on Saturday. I don't know why we're waiting so long to play another game. It is what it is. But, man, I'm telling you right now, EJ Liddell being a sophomore, this kid's a beast. I mean, you are going to see him playing on, well, normally we say Sundays.
Sunday.
Yeah, but he'll be playing on Wednesdays, Fridays, wherever, because this kid probably after this year, I don't know if college basketball is the same as college football or not. Can you help me out there, Jeff? Can he leave? Can they leave after their sophomore year?
Oh yeah, they can leave. They don't even have to go to college. Well, no, I'll tell you about it. They got to play 1 year.
1 year. Okay. Well,
yeah.
I could see Liddell, putting in some work, us getting to the Final Four and running on to the NBA next year. I hope not. Hope he'll come back for his junior year, but
yeah,
they're tough, bro.
They got a shot to go. They're going to go. But yeah, I mean, it's just been such a crazy college basketball season, and I know as far as Bearcat fans, they kept the beginning of the year they're getting on Brandon like, I don't think he's the coach. I don't think he's the right guy for it. We should have done this. We should have done that. I'm like, people, they've got 7 freshmen and sophomores. They barely got to practice. I mean, it was Zoom meetings and all this stuff with COVID and everything going on. It has been and it's not just the Bearcats. All the teams I just listed, the top 13 winningest programs are not ranked.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just the Bearcats. It's now I gotta give props to the Buckeyes, man. They're doing it. They're playing great. They haven't had a lot of COVID issues. I don't know if they've had any. Have they? Have they missed a game yet?
Not a ton. And we've been through injuries like everybody else. We got Jimmy Sotos. He's out for the whole year. He backs up Walker. He's a 3-point machine too. And we've still. It's been our defense though. Holtman brought over a great defensive scheme, and man, you rarely see a wide open shot. And when you do, you're thinking, what is going on here? Who blew this? Because, the only bugaboo for the Buckeyes that every now and again gets to me, we got these 95% free throw shooters. But when we come down to the end of the game, they get a little jittery and they miss a couple. That's going to happen. That's cool. But one thing I do not like is we're averaging at least 10 turnovers a game almost. And that's just something, especially my dad, growing up playing basketball the way he did, he cannot stand turnovers.
Yeah.
And, when you got 10, 15 turnovers a night, it don't matter who you're playing, that gets turned into points. So,
and rolling that over to the Bearcats, that's exactly what the Bearcats have been doing all year. And DeJulius, who was a transfer, came from Michigan, was supposed to be our go-to point guard, and he wasn't shooting the ball very well. We're all turning the ball over.
Yeah.
But I don't know what happened. Michael DeJulius played the best game I've seen him play ever in a Bearcat uniform against Temple. He was hitting threes. He was distributing the ball. We weren't turning the ball over. The Bearcats actually played defense in these 2 games. I mean, they was driving me nuts watching them play. Is the Bearcats from Huggins to Mick, we're known for defense. You don't drive down the middle of the court against us. Now, I'm not saying our defense is to that level yet, but I've seen improvements, which shocks me because a month they really didn't do anything. All he could do was Zoom calls and this and that and whatever he did and however he did it. Talk about Coach Brandon, he did a hell of a job because they won the last 2 games, and I didn't think we had a shot at winning the first game, to be honest. I don't think we had a shot at winning because they hadn't played in a month. They hadn't practiced. And for them to come out and pretty much dominate that game, I mean, they pretty much won it from beginning to end. Now, I didn't get to watch the Tulane game. I was down in Florida. But from what I heard about it, they played really well in that one too. So hopefully the Buckeyes will keep it rolling and they'll keep playing like they are. And hopefully the Bearcats can get this thing going. Like I said, the only shot we got is rolling into the American Athletic Tournament is to win the whole thing and get to the dance, which the dance is my favorite time of year. I love the first 2 rounds of the NCAA tournament. Now it's going to be in Indiana. It's not going to be the same as it normally is. And there's going to be some teams that aren't going to be in there. Like Kentucky. They lost again last night. No way they're getting in. They got to win the SEC tournament. I mean, Duke, North Carolina. There'll be a lot of big schools that probably aren't going to make it. I mean, there might be bigger name schools in the NIT this year than in the NCAA tournament, which is kind of shocking.
Yeah, that's very true, though. I mean, it really is. And that's what's so crazy about, college basketball. That's what makes it so fun because every year you really don't know what you're getting. You're going to get stuck with, like the Bearcats are going through, a bunch of freshman, sophomore players. And
somebody really wants to get a hold of you tonight. You should just answer it. Just see who it is.
I turned my phone off. I should have never connected it to this laptop. But anyway,
freaking technology.
Damn technology. But no, honestly though, it's like with you guys, you got a lot of freshmen, a lot of rookies, or freshmen and sophomore. Buckeyes, we're kind of in a little different lane. Got a little more, players been here an extra year, I guess you could say, at least for most of them.
Right.
But next year, Liddell gone. You never know. I just went through the list of guys that all could be gone, and then we could suck next year. You never know. It's just
that happens if you have a top program in college basketball. It happens because if you get the top recruits, most of them only stay 1 year. You're lucky they stay 2 years. So you're constantly changing the team over. I mean, it's like that in sports in general. I mean, the Buccaneers, the Bengals, their teams are going to be different than next year compared to the team they had this year. So I mean, it's always shit. But if college basketball, it's a huge turnover. Now, Dennis DP wants to know if we got any Reds news. Well, the only Reds news that I have is it looks like we're not going to sign a shortstop, at least a legit starting one. I mean, I don't know why. I mean, other than they don't want to spend any money at all. Because they've signed minor league guys. That's about it.
Doolittle.
Yeah, Doolittle, who could be a closer, but like I said, with our great manager David Bell, he's probably not going to use him as a closer. He might have him start.
Put him in the rotation.
Yeah, he might throw him in the rotation, let him start. Well, you were a closer. We'll let you start since we lost Bauer because I'm David Bell and I'm smarter than everybody else. But anyway, the Reds will be reporting to spring training on February 18th. The Trucks have left Cincinnati. They're heading to Arizona, and it'll be announced that they have all the means for the protocols, health and safety, and all that stuff. So spring training is starting on time. Now, what they are going to do, we're not doing the designated hitter, but they are going to have I think if they do double headers, I think it's going to be 7-inning double headers if they do them. And then in extra innings, a player is going to start on second base, and they're going to go from there. So those are the things that they're carrying over from last year. Now, I'm kind of down on the Reds, but they're still a good team. I mean, yes, they're worse than last year because you lost Bauer, which we all knew they were going to lose them. They haven't upgraded the shortstop position, which we wanted them to. But they're still good. I mean, you still got Sonny Gray. You still got Castillo, sorry. You still got that 1-2 punch. You got Wade Miley. Hopefully he'll do good. You got Tyler Maui. They lost Disco. I mean, so they still got pitchers. They still got, for the most part, our bullpen for last year, except for Iglesias. And now they signed Doolittle. So hopefully Jose Garcia can be, he can step up and be the shortstop that we all think he can be. I don't know what their thoughts are on shortstop or what they're even – I don't know what they're planning on doing because, I know people keep saying to move Senzel to second and do all the move. They're not moving Senzel. Senzel is going to be in center field. That's not happening. Moose is going to be at second. Gio going to be at third. Votto at first. And then I don't know, like I said, shortstop, I have no idea. And it's a pretty big position to – really not have an answer for, I know they signed a guy, Goodwin or something, Strange Goodwin or whatever his name was, but he's a utility guy. I don't think he's going to be our starting shortstop. So,
no.
But
I've just never gotten into the no cap. Well, I guess cap, but no cap really. You got 5 or 6, 7 owners in one team, and they're all multi-billionaires or millionaires, and like the Dodgers, the Yankees, they've done it for years, and it's just it makes it tough for smaller market teams like Cincinnati. We never had a chance, and you said that in the very beginning. We never had a chance for Trevor Bauer.
Oh, no.
I mean, never had a chance. Sonny Gray, well, yeah, there you go.
He's the man.
But I hate how the whole formula works with the cap process of baseball because they've tried. They claim they've tried to make it fair, but to me, they're never going. They're never going to let it do. The Major League Baseball Players Union is the most powerful union in the world, I think, and they're never going to let it be a cap. They won't agree to it. I mean that to me, and that's the reason that all these other leagues have teams that can win, because they all share the money, and it makes it more exciting if you can spread the talent around
and give teams like Cincinnati and Pittsburgh and all these other teams chances to win and keep our players, you know, it makes the product better. And, you know, and I mean, it's not, like I said, it's never going to happen. I don't see them. They need a salary cap. It's not going to happen because the Yankees, Dodgers, Red Sox, they're always, if they want to go get somebody, they want to outpay, you know, outspend you for them, then they can.
Yeah.
That's
simply
the way it is.
And it's just not
what really hurt the Reds last year is not having fans. I mean, not having that extra revenue. So that's what irritates me. They went all in last year. They actually spent a lot of money on free agents and making trades and different stuff like that. And then we couldn't have any fans. And the Reds need that money. They need fans to come in. They need that revenue, and they didn't get that. I know that hurt, and that's, I think, one of the biggest reasons that they aren't spending any money. They might not be able to. You know, I don't know what their financial situation is, but
and that you know, I didn't mean to cut you off, everybody.
No, good. No, you're good.
It just kind of makes me wonder. You know, what could the Reds have offered Bauer? What would have been their best? I mean, I read their best offer was like $14 million or something like that. Okay, so he almost he doubled plussed it.
Yeah,
you know, with and a lot of people. I've talked to quite a few of my buddies that are Reds fans. And go, well, we paid Joey Votto $100 million. I said, look, we paid that over 10 years.
10 years.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
They're paying this guy $15 million
guaranteed. And it's guaranteed. He's getting all of it.
Guaranteed 3 years.
Yep.
That's
insane.
I can't even put it into words. But anyway.
Well, I can't be mad at him. Who in the world would turn down that kind of money?
Oh.
And it's guaranteed. It ain't going anywhere. It's his money. All you do is sign, and it's his.
Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, we got baseball coming. We'll get into more baseball talk and stuff when spring training starts, but it is coming. And I'm not trying to be down on the Reds, and people told me this. Oh, the Reds are rebuilding this year. No, they're not rebuilding. We still have a good team. I mean, we do. We have a legit good team, and that we legitimately have a shot at winning this division or getting a wild card or whatever. We still got good pitching. We got good players. To me, we've talked about this before. It's a 22 inning scoreless streak we have got to get rid of. And to me, that's a philosophy. That's mindset. That has nothing to do with pitching or anything. That's guys just playing baseball, hitting, running, hitting behind runners, trying to make contact. Don't swing for the damn fences the entire time. Quit worrying about lift and separate.
Exactly.
Like Tony Perez says, see the ball, hit the ball. That's what you got to do.
Well, and my thing is, too, with those, scoreless innings, there was really two pitchers that kept us in. There was Iglesias and Bauer, of course. And now, we're bringing in Doolittle. We're going to learn. We're going to have to figure out, even with the other staff still partly intact, we're going to have to figure out how to score runs. So this isn't going to be a Cincinnati Reds shoot for the fences again this year by Bell. If it is, we all might as well just eat our popcorn at home.
They might as well just fire him now, which I wish they would have fired him last year.
Yeah,
and the year before that. And that what kills me, because I like Cincinnati guys being the managers and Cincinnati guys working for the Reds. I like that. I wish David Bell would do better, and I'll be happy if I'm wrong. I'll say that. I've said that a lot. So when I complain about what the Bengals do and what the Reds do and stuff, I'll be glad to be wrong. If David Bell turns around and begins manager of the year, I'll be like, I was wrong. That was awesome. But if he does that, I don't think I'm going to be wrong, because he had to change his philosophy and how he manages to get it done, I think. But we'll find out.
Exactly right.
An hour, 24 minutes. I think we're going to roll on out of here, Jeremy D. Now, I'd like to thank two of our main Facebook groups that let us live stream on their pages. That is Houday Nation and Ohio State Bucknuts. If you guys are not a part of those pages, please feel free to join them. Also, you can join my groups. They are Bengals Brigade, Bearcat Ruckus, Radical Reds, and then the Ice Bar, which is the Ice Bar is just a show page. Basically, me and Jeremy D post silly memes, different sports stories, I don't know, whatever, different videos, stuff, or just whatever we feel like, It's kind of a fun show page that I invite you guys to join. Also, you can follow me on all my social media platforms other than the ones I just said, but these are all under Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and then me and Jeremy do some silly TikToks that we think are pretty funny. And we post them on the Ice Bar, and you guys can check them out. Now, I'm going to put this on the podcast later on tonight. Give me a 5-star review. Like, rate, and review. I'm on iTunes, Apple Podcast, pretty much wherever you get your podcast, I'm there. And YouTubers. Like I said, we are at 830 subscribers. That is awesome. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Let's keep it rolling. Try to get to 1,000 as fast as we can. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that thumbs up. We had like 20-something people watching us. I only got 4 thumbs up. If you watch the video later, do me a favor, get the thumbs up. That helps the algorithm. I know I don't do that most times. And if you're watching off Facebook or something, then you try to hit the thumbs up, you got to go into YouTube, and it's a pain in the butt to do that. But if you can do that, I would greatly appreciate it. Just tell everybody about Strawberry Ice. It's a sports show. It's mostly Cincinnati, but we'll talk national. We'll talk whatever you guys want to talk. I mean, we got a Georgia Bulldog fan, Doggy. He's on here all the time. He brings up Georgia stuff, Atlanta stuff, college football mostly. But, we'll talk whatever you guys want to talk. So make sure you guys help us out, get our name out there, and try to get some more subscribers. And as always, we appreciate the support. Jeremy D, well, let's roll on out of here.
Will do, my friend. I just wanted to reiterate what you said real quick, though, guys. We get a ton of views on YouTube here, and the thumbs up button is so easy. Just click it for us. Helps with the whole algorithm of everything. The more likes, the views. The views are awesome, but the likes just double pack it in, make it that much better for the show, for you guys. And anybody that's watching out there on any of the other groups, come join Sports with Strawberry Ice on YouTube, subscribe, and then y'all give us a little thumbs up too, because it does help. It may seem it's something simple, but I was talking to a little birdie this weekend that I work with, and she was letting me know all of the little things that can help this show keep growing and keep getting out to a further audience. Right. So keep hitting the like button. Tell your friends and family. Bring them on over. Have them subscribe. It doesn't cost them a thing. If they only watch one show a week, that's fine. If they watch them all, that's even better.
Exactly.
But anyway, as always,
yes, sir.
Wanted to remind you guys of one thing and one thing only, and that is you don't live in Cleveland. You live in Cincinnati. So act like it. Who day? We'll see you tomorrow, baby.
Who day? Go Reds, go Bengals, go Bearcats, go Buckeyes. And that's just sports, baby. See ya!